At 78, Rob Reiner finally talks about James Garner. Rob Reiner was born on March 6, 1947, in the Bronx, New York. His dad was the famous comedian and director Carl Reiner, and his mom was actress Estelle Reiner. Growing up, Rob was surrounded by entertainment. Watching how stories were told, how comedy worked, and seeing all the hard work that goes into show business, his childhood home was filled with laughter, creativity, and interesting conversations. This gave him the perfect foundation for his own career. Later on, Reiner became famous when he acted in the hit TV show All in the Family from 1971 to 1979, where he played Michael Stivic, who everyone called Meathead. His character stood up for modern ideas during a time when America was going through big changes. He often argued with Archie Bunker, who had old-fashioned views. This role made Reiner super popular and gave him the courage and respect in Hollywood to try directing and telling his own stories. His work on the show won him several Emmy Awards, proving he was great at both comedy and serious acting. In the early 1980s, Reiner started directing movies, and that's where he really made his mark on American film. His first movie as director was This Is Spinal Tap in 1984, a funny fake documentary about a made-up rock band. It became hugely popular and is still considered one of the best comedies ever made. After that, he made a bunch of amazing movies that showed he could do all kinds of different stories. Stand By Me in 1986, based on a Stephen King story, showed how good he was at telling emotional stories about real characters. Then The Princess Bride in 1987 mixed fairy tales, romance, and comedy in a way that made it a movie families still love today. In 1989, Reiner directed When Harry Met Sally, a romantic comedy that changed the whole genre with its clever dialogue and great acting, including that famous restaurant scene that everyone still talks about. In the early 1990s, Reiner directed Misery in 1990, another Stephen King adaptation, which won Kathy Bates an Oscar for her scary performance. In 1992, he made A Few Good Men, an intense courtroom drama with Jack Nicholson's unforgettable line, "You can't handle the truth," which became one of the most famous movie quotes ever. Through all these movies, Reiner showed he could handle comedy, romance, thriller, and drama, while always focusing on interesting characters and great storytelling. Over the years, Reiner has also acted in lots of movies and TV shows that show off his humor, charm, and ability to do both funny and serious roles. His acting resume is like a history book of modern Hollywood, starting with the dark comedy Throw Mama from the Train in 1987, where he showed his talent for weird, clever humor, and including his memorable role in the romantic classic Sleepless in Seattle in 1993. That movie is still one of the most loved romantic comedies of all time. In Woody Allen's Bullets Over Broadway in 1994, Reiner brought his comedy skills to an old-fashioned setting. And in The First Wives Club in 1996, he joined a great cast in a movie that became super popular for its funny take on friendship, empowerment, and starting over. By the late 1990s, Reiner's acting choices kept showing how versatile he was. He gave a smart performance in Primary Colors in 1998, a political drama about the drama and scandals of presidential campaigns, and then played a funny role in EdTV in 1999, a satire about reality TV that was way ahead of its time. On TV, he found new fans years later with regular appearances on the popular sitcom New Girl from 2012 to 2018, where he played Jess's sweet, slightly quirky dad and added warmth and laughs to the show. He even surprised viewers with a sharp cameo in Martin Scorsese's exciting The Wolf of Wall Street in 2013, showing audiences he could still hold his own with a powerful, energetic cast. Maybe one of Reiner's most famous acting roles was in his own movie masterpiece, the cult classic mockumentary This Is Spinal Tap in 1984, where he played the clueless but sincere fake documentarian Marty DeBrey. His straight-faced acting and perfectly low-key performance became legendary, proving that Reiner could not only create brilliant comedy but also perform it himself. Beyond Spinal Tap, he kept acting in his own movies, including The Story of Us in 19, where he played an important role in a thoughtful movie about love and marriage, and Alex and Emma in 2003, a romantic comedy that let him combine his directing style with acting on screen. More recently, in his political drama Shock and Awe in 2017, Reiner took on a big supporting role that showed his lifelong passion for journalism, truth, and holding people accountable, proving that his acting could be as socially important as his directing. Besides his more serious parts, Reiner has also shown he's willing to make fun of himself. He's appeared in funny cameos that joke about his public image, like in Dickie Roberts' former child star in 2003, where he leaned into making fun of Hollywood, and the critically praised series 30 Rock in 2010, which loved making self-referential jokes. These moments made fans love him even more, and showed his self-awareness and playful personality, proving he doesn't take his fame too seriously. Put together, Rob Reiner's acting career shows a guy who, even while building an amazing career as a filmmaker, never stopped loving the simple art of performing. His acting work covers both range and importance, including comedy, drama, satire, and even social commentary, making him not just a respected director but also a familiar and beloved face on TV and in movies. Rob Reiner's personal life has had two important marriages that shaped his family and connected to his career in meaningful ways. His first marriage was to actress and director Penny Marshall in 1971, when both were young rising stars in Hollywood. Marshall, who later became famous for playing Laverne DeFazio on the hit sitcom Laverne and Shirley, and for directing beloved movies like Big and A League of Their Own, already had a daughter from her previous marriage to Michael Henry. That daughter was Tracy, who eventually became known as Tracy Reiner, an actress with her own career, appearing in movies like A League of Their Own, Apollo 13, and When Harry Met Sally. Rob Reiner made the loving choice to adopt Tracy as his own, becoming her father in every way, and their relationship has stayed strong through the years. The marriage between Reiner and Marshall lasted for 10 years, but like many Hollywood marriages, it had problems, and in 1981, the couple officially got divorced. Even after breaking up, though, both kept respecting each other, and their time together stayed an important part of each of their lives. Reiner's second great love story started during the making of one of his most famous movies, When Harry Met Sally in 1989. While directing the romantic comedy that would become a classic, he met photographer Michelle Singer. Their meeting was lucky, and it not only started a personal relationship but also influenced Reiner's work in an artistic way. In fact, their connection was so strong that it inspired him to rethink the ending of When Harry Met Sally. Originally, the movie wasn't supposed to end with the main couple getting together, but after meeting Singer, Reiner felt he had to change it, giving audiences the sweet and hopeful ending that has become legendary. That this mixing of his personal and work life showed how deeply Singer affected him from the beginning. The relationship grew quickly, and in 1989, the same year the film came out, Reiner and Singer got married. Together, Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer built a family life that has been both wonderful and meaningful. They had 3 children, each of whom followed their own creative paths. Their first son, Jake Reiner, was born in 1991 and has pursued a career in journalism and acting, appearing in films like Shock and Awe and working as a broadcast journalist. Their second child, Nick Reiner, born in 1993, used his talents for writing, including co-writing the 2015 film Being Charlie, which was directed by his father and was based on Nick's own struggles with addiction and recovery, making it an especially personal project for the family. Their youngest child, Romy Reiner, born in 1997, has also embraced creativity, working as an actress and comedian, sharing her humor and perspective with a new generation of audiences. Through both marriages, Rob Reiner's family life has been deeply connected with his career, influencing not only the stories he told on screen but also how he told them. His relationships with Penny Marshall and Michelle Singer, along with being a father to Tracy, Jake, Nick, and Romy, show a man whose personal experiences always fed into his work as a filmmaker, giving his stories warmth, realness, and heart. At 78 years old, veteran actor, director, and producer Rob Reiner has lived a life surrounded by Hollywood legends. But recently he decided to share his thoughts about someone he had admired from afar for a long time, James Garner, the beloved star of The Rockford Files. Reiner, known for his thoughtful honesty and warm respect for his peers, admitted he had rarely talked about Garner before, but getting older and thinking back made him want to give credit where it was deserved. Garner, who became super famous for his tough charm, quick wit, and subtle humor, left a big impression on Reiner both as a fan and as someone else working in the constantly changing world of TV and film. Reiner started by remembering the huge cultural impact of The Rockford Files. Running in the 1970s, the show wasn't just another detective series. It stood out because of the depth Garner brought to his character, Jim Rockford. James had this way of making you believe he really was Jim Rockford, Reiner said. There was nothing fake about him. You didn't feel like you were watching an actor.